tell he's in the hot seat?
I'm a little bit nervous.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I really struggle like talking about myself.
Yeah, but you got a story, mate.
Yeah.
Should we dig into it?
I actually genuinely am nervous. Get a knock at that door from the cops on Sunday morning at JMO's house. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, what have I done last night? Like, I must have been pissed. Here we go. My mum's there with 2 coppers. And they go, oh, your dad's killed himself.
What do you think was the number one thing that was like fundamental in your childhood to create the man that's here today? Because in many, many senses, I see is absolutely bulletproof.
Forced independence, I think is the answer. My kind of barometer for being a good person these days is how far of the opposite am I to how my dad was.
A lot of guys I know have a great relationship with their dads. How'd you deal with that as a male growing up?
I was 26, no degree, moved here, 6 years before, and 220 grand a year living on the Gold Coast, billing, 700 grand a year.
Yeah. When you connect the dots backwards, and we've spoken about your upbringing, the work ethic and things like that, was it easy for you to do that, or was there still times where you had to push through self-doubt or go the extra mile?
Not easy, but no other option.
Welcome back to another episode of the Two Blokes, One Business podcast with Harv and Powell.
Good to be here, Harvs. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining me. I actually feel like Stevie Bartlett today with the iPad. So it's going to be good.
Mate, before we dive into it, talk about what we're wearing at the moment.
Mate, this is
our boy James.
Special edition James bin cleaning apparel. The big man James, one of our big podcast fans. I reckon he's the number one podcast fan.
I'll give it to him.
Yep. Or Luke Cundy's not going to be happy with that. or his stepdad.
That's so true.
Yeah. Okay. James is top 3. 7-year-old entrepreneur. We spoke about him before. He's killing it. He came in to the studio yesterday and had a little tour around Harwell HQ and bought us these awesome T-shirts with his old man Jason. It was really cool.
So cool. Hey,
yeah.
He's cleaned over 100 bins, 60 clients. Only 5 of those are people he knew. So you think, right, oh, good on him. He's obviously just cleaning it for his best mate and stuff. Yeah. Nah, 5 out of the 60 he actually knew of. The rest are just random people getting around him. Fuck, how cool is that?
Mate, maybe you can come do some cold outreach for us.
Get him on the blower.
Get him on the blower. No, it was really cool. It was so funny, like his dad Jason saying, like, I'm at the bank, like having a business meeting with the bank. And like the lady in the bank's like, I'm having a business meeting with a 7-year-old kid. And he's actually stacking up some cash already, the lad, isn't he?
Yeah. What do you want to buy again? He bought a big Lego Eiffel Tower.
It was an Eiffel Tower, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And next he wants to build a full house and car at the front.
Yeah.
In Lego.
Lego.
What a legend.
Yeah. So good on you, James. Keep cleaning bins and winning at life, mate.
Changing the world.
Yeah. Makes us very proud. Mate, anything else been happening?
Dude, I just got back from Japan.
Oh.
Arigato gozaimasu. Happy
Oh, I didn't know you got a job at Sushi Train. That's good.
Dude, it is so good over there. Like, they're just better than us, mate. They give a shit. It's probably the big thing. Like, they give a shit about the way they behave. They give a shit about the environment around them. They give a shit about themselves. Like, everything's clean as. Things just work. Trains there on time. People just queue up normally. They're not bustling and fighting to get on trains. Yeah. It's just easy.
Why do you think that is? Like, I'm thinking more so like the characteristics and the behaviours, like that. I guess respect,
massively.
Queuing to get on a train, cleaning up after yourself. Like, do you think that's just in their culture and it's instilled into them from a very young age?
2 bits. One, I think this is true. From the ages of 5 to 7. Apparently a couple of days a week at school, they don't learn maths or English. They actually learn how to be a good citizen.
Oh, that is incredible.
Well, then think about the follow-on effects. That means the kids who are 7 to 9 are behaving like good citizens. So as a younger kid, you're impressionable. You're looking up to people who are just doing the right thing. They're not throwing shit on the floor. They're not, playing up in class. So naturally you go, that's what people do. And I think the second one is just honor. We learn a bit about samurais and ninjas. And I think the whole Japanese culture is very big on like being honorable.
Yeah.
So being honourable, representing your family well, if you're the one throwing your 7-Eleven egg sandwich on the floor, putting that very honourable, mate.
Yeah, I think it is very much around that legacy. And one thing that came to mind when you spoke is the legacy book about the New Zealand rugby team and just like their behaviours and what they kind of do just at every single minute of their being, that's what it feels like.
They haven't got it all sorted. I think the guys work extremely hard. I think there's a lot of high suicide rates over there. You know, it's not all perfect, right? But what you see of the tourist over there, you go, they have got shit sorted.
Yeah, but and no one's got it nailed. Like, no country in this world is perfect. But for me, it's like in business or whatever it is, going to a place or go and hang out with people and go, they do these things better than me, and I'm going to learn from that and come back and try and implement that. I love the respect thing, mate. That's so good.
And the food, class.
Yeah, I was very jealous.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Love it. They love a raw egg on top of food. So you have like your Wagyu on your rice and then just pop a raw egg on and obviously mix it into the hot rice and it cooks. Fuck,
they are better than us.
Dude, it's so good.
They are way better. So a bit of sumo wrestling as well.
Yeah, didn't get involved. Obviously lower back issues. I'm on the rehab. Didn't want to tempt fate. But yeah, really, really good.
Didn't want to hurt the sumo.
Didn't want to fuck him up.
Were you really tall over there? Well, so you're the same height. Like,
yeah.
I'm assuming it's not that good.
Subjective.
I might go otherwise.
Yes, for the most part, but not like fucking Godzilla walking around. There's a lot of tourists there, right? Who get equal height.
We start putting scaffolding around you. Like.
I did have to bend down a fair bit walking through buildings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got
There's a few chances I nearly boxed my head open, but got lucky.
Good work, mate. Today's episode, this is a special one. Powell's in the hot seat.
I'm a little bit nervous.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I really struggle like talking about myself.
Really?
Yeah, I actually do.
Yeah. We dug into my story, didn't we? I think it was more around like building businesses with young kids. It was a while back, but it's actually one of the highest performing episodes. And I was like, mate, what the fuck? Why haven't we done yours?
I haven't got kids.
Yeah, but you got a story, mate.
Yeah.
Should we dig into it?
I actually generally am nervous, right? I think for me, I've got, and this is some work with Jess Cameron that we did. I've got an aversion of disconnection.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like, and it's not like warranted at all, but if I show that I'm doing well, I feel like people around me will disconnect. If potentially they're not moving as fast or as far at that point in time. So then I kind of dim myself a little bit to not feel that.
Why do you think that? Where's that come from?
Working class background. I think just the us v them, you know, they're fucking us, the government take all this from us. Like just being on that side of the fence where you don't have much and you're kind of envious of people who do. I think just not being able to shake that off properly. Definitely better than I was.
Yeah.
But I genuinely do think it's detrimental as well. I remember we had Rebecca Aid who was sat on here and I'd just done that 170K month. And she was like, okay, well, do you think the people who you could potentially be helping will be more inclined to let you help them if they know how good you are? I was like, yes. And she's like, so by sharing that you did 170K a month, it's actually not about you. It's actually about the people you can help because you've shown them you've helped other people in the same boat. And I'm like, you're fucking bang on. And
it's about the way you share it as well. Like I remember that time, I think I posted it on every single outlet because I knew that you wouldn't. So I was just like, I'm going to let the world have it. But it wasn't like, oh, I did 170K or Ads did 170K and you're all losers. It was like, Ads has done this number in a month. Here's what's possible. And here's how you might actually be able to do the same. Or here's how we can help you get at least close to that, which even half of that number is still what most people would earn in a year.
Yeah.
So it's all about the way you do it.
And I think you have moments, right? You have moments where you wake up and you go, yeah, like I feel class. I'm happy to share that. But then other times you kind of just shrink a little bit. Well, I do. You know, I'm like, you know, I'd rather big up Harvey. I'd rather talk about someone on the team or someone else.
Yeah.
I haven't figured it out. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Don't know if I ever will.
It's always easier to talk about someone or talk fondly of someone else than it is yourself. Even, I think we've shared a lot, I would never let you down. If I made a promise to you or we were going for a run this morning, there is absolutely no way I would bail out on it. But if it was just me and the man in the mirror, then you would let yourself down. It's that relationship with self that not only will you let yourself down compared to someone else, but you'll also talk much more fondly of someone else than you would yourself as well.
I think for this app to be as good as it could be, I'm going to get a bit of permission from you listening.
Oh God.
Let me big myself up a little bit here. I'll share the dark times as well. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But just don't call me a twat on YouTube and Spotify or arrogant, because then I'll be crummer.
And he'll never do it again.
Is that a deal?
He'll never do it again. We're going off script already.
Okay.
What do you think was the number one thing that was like fundamental in your childhood to create the man that's here today? Because in many, many senses, I see is absolutely bulletproof.
Forced independence, I think, is the answer. We'll dive straight into good stuff. So growing up, me, mum, dad, sister. Sister's 4 years older. Life was good. Like life has always been good. But when we lived in West Brom, lower socioeconomic, working class, you just speak like a proper Brummy. Mum still does, bless her.
She does, hey?
Yeah.
When she came over, I was like, I always forget how Brummy she is.
Yeah. But life was good, right? Because that's all you'd ever known, or I'd ever known. And my family grew up there, and they got their connection, the network, and things were fine. Like just battling away, working, just trying to make a good life for their kids. Ended up moving to Martley, which is in Worcestershire.
Yeah.
Beautiful little village, very different to being in kind of a city where there was fucking main roads everywhere. I lived opposite a hospital, then moved to Martley, where I look out the window and just see the big wood, that forest. You know? Awesome. So good that my parents decided to do that, because the lifestyle for me and Hayley was so much better. What, I don't know if they considered or not, but what happened was that comfortable, well-connected life that they had, that wasn't there anymore, right? They're starting from scratch, blank canvas, which is very, very hard to make friends as an adult. I think we've all kind of been through that as well. So dad was an alcoholic, like black and white.
Was he an alcoholic before you moved?
Yeah.
What do you think it was
you would have been, but because life is sweet, it's not highlighted.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Like it's only, and I got older as well. I think I got more aware, obviously, as time went on.
Yeah.
Opposed to being, I moved when I was 9, so I've been 6, 7. Like you don't know what's going on, right? You're just fucking cruising through. So moved away. Then he's kind of disconnected, which socially is very difficult for someone who's charismatic. And then we couldn't really get a good job. Ended up kind of giving up on getting a job, but then was too ego proud to go and get the benefits. Yeah. So then I got my mum working, supporting a full house, and obviously a house that was a bit of an upgrade as well based off where we were, which you factor in of 2 wages, right? Not 1. Yeah. So financial pressure was high, which was an awareness thing over time as well. If I ever wanted something for my mum, she would find a way to say yes. So I became very, very good at being choosy what I asked for, knowing that she would move hell and earth to make it happen. But I understood the cost that was going on in the background for that as well. So the independence came from never really having a father figure that, 1, I liked, and then 2, I actually looked up to and thought, I want to be like you. And what it turned out to be more so was the opposite. And my kind of barometer for being a good person these days is how far of the opposite am I to how my dad was.
How'd you deal with that as a male growing up? Because I see a lot of guys I know, and like I'm thinking like Marty, Britt's brother-in-law. Like when people have a great relationship with their dads, he's the most important person in the world.
Not emotionally. It's not how I dealt with it. Used to get envious. So my best mate when I was a kid, Slate. Funny story, I've actually got his name tattooed on my arse. He's got Adam.
You have, haven't you? And you got, was it meant to be a balloon, but they did it upside down, so it was a light bulb?
I certainly have. So Slate was my best mate, and his awesome family, like their own problems, right? And his parents are broken up now. But his dad was just awesome. He used to take us to football. He'd pick me up on a Friday. I'd stay there, and we'd go to a game on a Saturday. Just so invested in his life, and they had a real close bond where they could just talk about shit, right? And he'd get spoken to like an adult, and they'd just be father and son, but they were mates. They were genuinely friends. So I used to get envious of that. And then I'd be like, well, why haven't I got that? Because I like to think if you're ticking the boxes of what I thought a good son would be if I was a dad, you know, decent at school, never have to try too hard and always do really well. Good at football, which in England is probably the most important thing for a dad, right? Is your kid good at football? Tick that off. Popular, like cruisy, always pretty happy. So I'm thinking like, fuck, is it me? I never thought it was, to be honest. I generally just put it back on him. And his dad died before he was born. But he didn't necessarily have this father figure role model either. Okay, so when his mum was pregnant, he died in a car crash. So his family was a bit shit, to be honest. And we never really got too much to do with them. It was on my mum's side, who were beautiful people. So I'm kind of making excuses for him, but he didn't really have this perfect life and then flipped it and gave me a shit life, right? He just came from a shit life and carried it on, essentially.
It's so hard to break that generational behavior or things like that. Do you think the environment change? Because sometimes environment change is good. Like, you know, coming out of West Brom to Martley would have been what breaks that curse and flips it, but it sounds like it went the other way.
Yeah, but fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's your choice, you know? Like, yeah, life is hard, but you chose to move, right? So you should have had the foresight to understand you're not going to be around the corner from your friends. You're going to be an hour away. You're building a new life. It's an opportunity to go and do so. So again, maybe this is the trauma talking, right? But I've got no sympathy for you making that decision and then compounding it with more bad ones after that.
Yeah.
Like, it's so you could have so easily fucking started running, got fit, stopped drinking, got a job, gone and studied, done anything, even just got benefits. Fuck, that would have been amazing too. But didn't do that. He just sat in his chair and got pissed.
Yeah.
And this probably sounds a bit cold. Like, you know, my relationship with it.
Yeah. I think it's really important for people to hear, because I think a lot of people are probably guilty at looking at you and what you've achieved and going, oh yeah, he's had it all really easy. He's bulletproof, this, that, and the other. And it's got, no, you haven't had it easy. You've just chosen to try and make an easier life through working hard and taking full ownership of the situation and not letting it, I guess, be the maker of you.
He goes either way, right? I am the way I am because of the way he was, or I am the way I am because of the way he was. And you either copy him or you do the opposite of him based off that. But back to the start where I said independence, like forced independence, because I didn't have anyone to look up to, I kind of just made my own decisions. I've always had a lot of trust in my mum. I could always go out and about and she'd just know I'd be sweet. She wouldn't stress too much. So I've always been able to be in situations where I've got to make a decision. You get it right, great. You get it wrong, you deal with the consequences, and not some big, loud, exaggerated kind of performance. But okay, I've chosen not to take the last bus home from Worcester at 5:45 because I'm hanging out with a chick. Now I've got an 8-mile walk home. I've made the decision, right? Because I'm hanging out with a chick, and you get on with it. And the next time, okay, I made the walk home. It wasn't great, but fuck, I'm having a really good time. I'll do it again. So really easy to go, what's the pros and cons, and just relying on myself and my judgment of decisions to make it. And if I get it wrong, I go, well, fuck, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah. Do you think your mum knew what she was doing at the time with the full independence side of things? Because I come from a parent's perspective now, and my kids are still very young, right? So just my little baby, and like you just want to wrap them up in cotton wool. But for a parent to give their child full independence, maybe it's easier with a male. That's a big thing. Or did your mum just have no choice because she was just fucking head down hustling, trying to keep the household together?
I think she knew I could be trusted. I think if she thought I was a liability, she would have acted very differently. But I've always had a pretty sensible head on my shoulders for the most part, and been able just to make decisions and come away with things kind of scot-free for the most part. I guess moving the story on a little bit, it got to a point where the more she helped me, the worse my dad was. Right? So
in what way?
If we'd be at home, you know, and I'll be always playing football all the time. If I was at home for dinner and she went to make me dinner, he'd fucking flip it. He would be raging that she's taken time to make me dinner because his mum never made him dinner, so why should I get it?
That's so toxic.
You know, if it's taking me to football, you know, couldn't believe it. What do you mean you're going to go out and drive him 30 minutes and then wait? Like, and it just caused stress in the house. He'd then be arguing, and it got to a point where it was just easier just not to be there.
Fuck. And that would have pushed you even further down that road of independence.
Yeah, like I just found a way, right? Like I was lucky having good friends who could take me to football, and my sister then started driving. She could take me, which is great. Like, dude, it was like I'd get home from school. Picture this. I'd go around the back gate. You're kind of walking through the patio door. It's a big like window pane door. He'd be sat there in his little chair where he's probably been all day drinking piss. I'd literally walk in. We wouldn't even acknowledge each other. I'd walk straight past and go out, hey, mum, hey, Hayley, how you doing? See fucking the dogs. And he'd just sit there looking straight at the TV. Like we just coexisted, mate. There was no relationship there between us at all.
Do you think you're carrying, not like carrying that trauma, but do you think it shaped what you want as an adult? Like, I guess the big one would be like you and Mads don't want kids.
Yeah, well, right now.
Right now, yeah.
Do
you think it's partly to do with that?
I think the independent side of it. So not the direct correlation of I had a shit dad, I don't want kids to be a shit dad. I think because I had so much independence, I now don't necessarily want to dive into that full life of responsibility as a conscious decision though, right? And I think we could have kids tomorrow and not consider all the factors and decisions that come with that, but we genuinely have because we're intentional people. So we're like, if we are going to do it, we need to know what we're getting into and then be happy with that, as opposed to, well, fuck it, let's have a kid and see what happens. And again, there might be a period of time where we're still in hustle mode right now. Like not survival mode, but we're still fucking fighting for our lives, right? With what we want to do and what we want to achieve. So I don't feel like I've ever got to the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Like I'm fucking flipping around a little bit here, or maybe I'll finish this bit and then I'll talk about why. So long story short, they eventually break up. Right? My mum wanted to leave him for ages, but couldn't because he didn't have the money. Sister goes to my grandma, hey, like my mum's mum. Fucking, they all hated him anyway, right? Because he's a knob. Hey, mum wants to leave him, but hasn't got the money, doesn't want to ask you. She was like, fucking, of course, I'll give it to you. Like, duh. So then finally break up. Goes away for a bit, stays with whoever he stays with, and then has to come back. Goes away again, has to come back. And then he goes cold turkey, stops drinking completely, and then goes into fucking like full psychosis, dude. Like I was out the house, I wasn't even there. And he's speaking to the fireplace or something was talking to him. There's another one where he's saying to my mum, Adam's upstairs with his mates taking the piss out of me. I can hear him. My mum's like, he's not even here. He's like, yeah, he is. I can hear him. Barges upstairs and no one's there. Like full just fucking lost it.
So your mum broke up with him and then there were a period of time where they were getting back together again.
Not getting back together, but no one else would take him. So until he's got himself sorted.
So she would have to let him. Yeah.
Right.
And then, full psychosis.
Mm-hmm.
What happened after that?
He went to the hospital, came out of that, and then got his own place around the corner. And then a few months went by, just didn't hear anything. Not happy days, all good.
Yeah.
And again, it's really funny to say, but life was awesome. As soon as he's out of the house, me and my sister and my mum are sat watching TV, having dinner, laughing like a normal family should be. And then he comes back for a bit of time, that stops. And then we'd all kind of sit in the dining room. He'd just sit in the lounge by himself. Didn't want to be around him. And then he'd go and life's good again. Eventually moves out. Don't hear anything for a few months. And then, this is getting a little bit deep now. I'm at JMO's place. There's a mate of mine who lived in Worcester. I lived 8 miles away. So I used to stay in Worcester on the weekends. Get a knock at the door from the cops on Sunday morning at JMO's house. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, what have I done last night? Like I must have been pissed. Here we go. My mum's there with 2 coppers. And then open the door and they go, your dad's killed himself. And you go, fuck. But again, you'd expect this big outpouring of emotion, and people crying, but it was like, shit. The cops probably expecting that. And then it's like, oh yeah, do you want to get in the car with your mum? Like, we'll follow you home. And then I can't actually remember what went on the car ride, but it wasn't much, It wasn't any crying, it wasn't any sadness. It was more so, yeah, he's done it,
So someone to react to someone like that in the way you did, like that's not a normal reaction. Have you ever thought about that much or unpacked it?
Well, my thing is, if I didn't care, if I hated him when he was alive, why would I not hate him when he's dead? Again, all this sounds real blunt, right? You know me really well. So I can imagine people hearing this for the first time. They're going, fuck that guy's tweet.
He's a knob. What business with him?
But yeah, logically, well, if he was alive today, I probably still wouldn't have seen him. Put it that way.
Yeah.
So now he's dead. Well, I should now miss him and love him. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and you don't. No one wishes death on anyone, right? But I look back to when people go, family aren't just family because you're blood related. I've got friends who are more show more family traits to me than what some family do. So it's just because your family doesn't mean that you should have a relationship. It's all about the actions, which the actions along the way. Like it sounds like he had multiple chances to try and make a change.
Even just 1%, to show a little bit to make a change, but there's never even any intent to do it.
Yeah. Do you think that's why it seems like he was very much in a victim mindset? Do you think that's why ownership is a value that you're so strong on today?
I do, yeah. Because I think he just took the easy way out all the time. I probably won't say that's probably a bit harsh, but like the drinking. It's so easy then to just drink because you're feeling things you don't want to feel. You're feeling lonely or shame. How easy is that? Anyone can do that. The hard thing would have been to go and find friends, get fit, get a job. he'd probably blame my mum for moving potentially, right? This is me kind of hypothesizing now, but moving away from his circle of people. So that maybe anger at my mum for doing that, which is the right decision for his kids, which you think would outweigh that, but obviously not. So yeah, ownership for me is just, it's the only way you can live. Otherwise, your whole future and destiny is in the hands of someone else's decision or their thoughts or feelings that way, or fuck that. No way.
It's one of the hardest things to accept though, I think, because when you come to the point of ownership and you go, okay, I am in control of absolutely everything, even things that happen to me that are outside of my control, I am in control of the reaction and what happens next, which for the right people is incredibly freeing and powerful. For the wrong people, like, it frightens them. And that's where I think you see people just get into that victim mindset, because it's almost like, well, if I can always be this person that blames something else or someone else, and I kind of like protect myself and shelter myself, even though you're living quite an empty and unfulfilling life, it's someone else's fault.
Which misery loves company as well, though. So you put 5 of those people in a room together. It's not just me. The government have fucked me. It's my dad's fault. You know, it's my neighbour's fault. With pressure off my shoulders, I'm not a loser, right? Because I'm surrounded by people who've got the same pain. Put yourself in a room with 5 people who have full ownership and you will feel like the biggest loser.
Yeah. Why did you break the cycle? Because it would have been so easy for you to just be that young lad in Worcester, maybe move back to Worcester or a bigger city and just be on the piss all the time, become a bricklayer and just watch West Brom on a Saturday and smash it every weekend.
Yeah. And look, it seems like a good life, right? Like you say that, and fuck, that would be good fun for a couple of weeks. But what about for 60 years?
Yeah.
I think the football had a big part to do with it. I think I was naturally always good at stuff, which then built up this level of kind of ego and self-worth, which probably went in contrast to what my home life was like. There was a bit of like a wall in between. Like my friends at the time wouldn't have any idea what's going on at home because I kind of compartmentalized, and then this would be my life. You know, so my external life, or like outside of the home, was good at football, good at school, always pretty popular, like always had mates, always, I never struggled to make rapport and connections with people. So I think that's kind of what I held myself to, and just put that stuff in a box, what was going on at home. So then that was my identity, as opposed to, you know, that working class kid who's fucking dad's a knob. Like, actually, no, that's not me. It's the guy who's going to be a footballer, the guy who always gets A's, the guy who always gets the girl, whatever it is.
The human brain fascinates me. What was different about you that you were able to go and do that and focus on that? Sometimes it's natural, like the football was following a natural path, but still then you hear so many footballers that have the world at their feet and still choose drugs or alcohol or a bad lifestyle. What was it about you that you're able to just zone in and that became your obsession and your focus, which, yes, I know you say you compartmentalized, but that focus and following that journey would have helped you create a new identity that actually broke that kind of generational behavior. And it doesn't have to be football. Like, you're very good at football. It might be a career or business. Like, you don't know. But it just fascinates me. Like, what was it about you that so many people can't do?
Yes, to a point. But like, you'll know the story already. Like, let's talk about football then. So we kind of come out with that. He's dead. Kind of life goes on. Like, finish school. That was great. We get the scholarship at Cheltenham. We move out of home. I had an absolute stormer of the first few months in the scholarship. I was training with the first team. I was flying.
It was impressive. I remember my old man saying, like, that guy, he's going to play championship.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, he'd watched me for a few years. Like, even the year before, he'd watched me play that league where the lads were all 1 or 2 years ahead of you. And he was like, he is taking the piss.
But at the same time, I was getting pissed every weekend, you know?
Yeah.
So I kind of have that double life. Monday to Saturday morning, I can discipline, do the right things, as much as I thought I was at the time. There's probably more things I could have done now, knowing a bit more about what good preparation and recovery looks like.
Yeah.
But it wasn't out of choice. I just didn't know the answers.
Hindsight's a beautiful thing.
For sure. But then Saturday afternoon kicks over. Boys, where are we off to? Back to Worcester. We're out. Massive night. Sunday, just fucking try and stay alive and be hungover. Back to football on a Monday. And then you get the knock at the changing room door Monday morning. Powell leaving the first team. And the dread of like, oh, fuck. And then after a period of time, it catches up to you, right? So I've gone from being the fucking boy, training with the first team, 16, like, here we go, to then playing shit on a Monday, not getting the call on Tuesday. maybe go in the next week playing shit on a Monday again. Before you know it, that's gone. Right. And I probably never really got it back, to be honest. I was always in and around it. I was always one of the best players in the youth team. But in terms of in the gaffer's eyes, I think they just wrote me off as lifestyle.
Yeah, I remember towards the end of our second year when we're looking at pros, like probably up until early on in that second year, it was like nailed on for you. It was like, I'd say you and one or two others were like nailed on. The rest, it was kind of on the fence. And then I remember towards the back end, you'd had a couple of resi games because actually they throw everyone up and go, right, who's going to sink, who's going to swim?
Yeah.
And you had a couple of stinkers and you were like, I don't even know if I'm going to snag something here.
Yeah, 100%. The reason I got one was for the work I did in the first 18 months, not the last 6, you know?
When you were in that moment, did you dig in? And because I know that the Powell today, when shit goes against you or client goes under and they owe us money, we dig in, and we tighten up everything. Lifestyle comes back in, and we just go hard. Did you do the same back then, or was it more so I'm gonna go get pissed more?
Just the same amount, just naivety. I think what I've learned, and which is what's been massive learning curve for me in life now, is I was never 100% in. I always gave myself an excuse. Say if I didn't get the pro, it would have been, oh yeah, but that's because I got pissed every weekend. If I didn't do that, I would have got one. I always gave myself that little bit of grey to fall back on, even at school, right? I'd never really study. But if I thought I was going behind, I'd fucking go full hammer to make sure I was back up to where I needed to be. So the football sense, like if I'd have just dedicated it 100% for 2 years, not drank, done everything right, I'd probably be over there still playing. But I didn't. I gave myself that little out. I'd still be getting pissed, probably playing up to the image of what other people thought I was.
So you're living 2 lives.
Yeah, Jack the lad, footballer, life's good. He can get pissed and then play like, wow, what a guy. But again, in hindsight, we all know that's just got a ticking time bomb, right? You one or the other. You're getting pissed or you're going to be a pro footballer.
Why do you think you still did the drinking? So it's like, I just got that one little out.
Identity, because I'd always done it, or since like 14. That's what we did, me and my mates. Like, that's what we're about. We'd go out, get pissed, I can run amok, and then we'd go again. And then they go, lay bricks or go to college, what they're doing, I'll go and play football. And the weekend we'd catch up and we'll all be in the same boat again. And probably that connection piece too.
Yeah.
Like if I'd have gone, hey lads, I'm actually going to be a footballer, I'm going to not come out, that disconnect would have then got there as well. And again, that feeling I don't want to be feeling, as I mentioned at the start, that would have been there too. Again, all of this it's so easy to connect the dots looking backwards.
I was just thinking the same thing. Like it's, as an 18-year-old, you're still just a kid. You think you're an adult, but you're a kid. I was kind of just thinking in my head, the ownership, it sounds like now that you're like ultimate ownership, but maybe that wasn't always the case.
Nah, and if I'm going to play into, call it victim mentality, but if I'd have had a dad who was an awesome role model, he'd have been able to go, hey, I can pull your head in. You got an awesome opportunity here. Who knows? But I didn't, right? So I'm lucky now that I've made my mistake and learned from it. And now in this part of life, I've got the foresight to know that.
Yeah. The hindsight's an amazing thing. Even I look back at when I was in that Cheltenham team, I wasn't like massively overweight, but I was too heavy for a goalkeeper of my height. I needed to be super quick and super powerful. And I was to a certain extent. But if I was a bit more trim, I would have been a little bit quicker and a little bit more powerful, and it might have just turned out differently. Yeah. But again, at that age, you're just not conditioned for that.
And it almost wasn't the environment, man. Like I'm looking at our gaffer now, didn't believe in the gym. Right?
Did he?
So our youth team gaffer used to play for Arsenal, right? Techie as, real good footballer. Proper baller, but not physical, not an athlete. So didn't really believe in the gym. Really what that 2 years should have been is a fucking 2-year gym program to get you ready for League 2 football. But it wasn't. Again, is that his fault or my fault? Who knows? We'd be going to Tesco and buying 24 donuts for 20p before they go out a date and smashing them in the car. Like,
Monday Arvo, wasn't it? Yeah. Monday Arvo. Back from the weekend. That was so good.
We did not live the perfect life. But at the same time, man, we had a fucking good time.
The McDonald's drive-through?
Just all of it, yeah. We had a great time. And what we learned, we grew up pretty quick. And it definitely stands us in good stead for what we're trying to do now.
That's what I wanted to dig into. Like we talk about the impact of maybe if you had that father figure, you'd have had someone to clip you around the ear hole and you might have reined it in a bit more and the football thing would have turned out differently. But what's been the positive impact of not having that and actually stepping away from the game? Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Two Blokes, One Business podcast.
Now, apart from being world-class podcasters, we also run a recruitment agency called Harwell.
If you're keen to learn a little bit more about what we do, then head over to our Instagram @Harwell Group and check us out.
Back to the app. Well, let me tell you a funny story. You actually didn't believe me, I think, when I first told you this one. So I left 2-year scholarship. I got a 1-year pro, which was July to June. Gets to January, or like Christmas period. And then the boys have 3 games in 7 days. So we just put the squad on the board. If you're not on the squad, have the week off. I was never in the squad. So I wasn't in the squad again. So I got the week off over Christmas. And I was buzzing, which is not the right feeling. You should be pissed off. So I've had the week off anyway. And mental health for me, I've never really suffered, right? But looking back now, I was definitely had some shit going on. Like I hated football. Even though I'd loved it my whole life, I just hated it. I felt like a spare part. I wasn't playing well, so I wasn't looking after myself, which means I wasn't in good condition, which means I couldn't play well, and it rolled on. So I had that week off just to be normal kid, right? Not a footballer. Had an awesome time. And then the days ticking down before I've got to go back, and there's that dread in the stomach. Like I just felt sick. And again, I was strong-minded enough to go, well, it's not for me then. You know, like if you don't want to go back, don't go back.
Yeah.
So made the call, spoke to my mum. She was like, whatever makes you happy. She was awesome. Kind of put a plan in place. I'd spoke to a few people, I had a miss at the time, and it was like, well, I'm going to Australia. Because what I couldn't do was quit and just not know what I wanted to do. So I had a plan to go to Australia in March. We had a wedding to go to the week before, so the week after that. So I went in, drive down the M1, like 25-minute drive, crying my eyes out. Got there an hour early to see the gaffer before all the lads arrived. And I was like, yeah, like I'm done. I want to quit. And he tried to, do you want to go on loan? Do you want to do that? I was like, nah, I'm done. Fair play. He paid me out for another month, which helped. And then, yeah, that was it. But just the freedom.
I was just saying, the weight off the shoulders.
Oh, man. Not like full elation. I'm still going, what the fuck am I going to do? But driving out of there, knowing I haven't got to go back the next day, it was the right decision. And 100% it was the right decision. And then I've got 3 months, right? Well, I need to make some money because I'm going to Australia. Fuck, here we go. Walking down the Worcester High Street, and I think it was Reed, it was called a recruitment agency. So I walked in there.
First exposure to recruitment.
Yeah, here we go, here's the loop. So I walked in, hey, and all you've got then, right, is a CV saying I was a fucking footballer. No one gives a shit about that in the real world. Hey, yeah, this is my CV. Oh, what have you done? I just play football, brilliant. And what jobs have you got? Because not really understanding how the world works. Oh, it's actually a bus leaving in 45 minutes from Edward Elgar Station to do a group interview at Macca's.
What a fall from grace.
Holy shit. I'm kind of like, well, fuck it. Like, let's go then. So I walked to Edward Elgar Station, got on the minibus with people who were not prime athletes. Let me call them that.
Yeah.
I'm sat in this minibus driving up because it's like a service station one as well. It's on the motorway. Group interview. And like we all just sat there in Macca's and the manager calls you in and went in there and he's asking questions. And I'm just relaying everything to football, teamwork and competitiveness. Got offered the job.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. But I was like, there's no fucking way I'm going from being on FIFA 15 to now working at McDonald's off the M1.
Oh my God.
So that was humbling. Like I'm FIFA 15, I'm a football manager, League 2, like life's good.
From FIFA 15 to fillet of fish.
Off junction 15. Oh, shit.
Fuck.
Oh, so then from there, did a bit of coaching, ticked over, did whatever I needed to do, come to Australia.
Yeah.
Blank canvas. No Adam Powell, the legend, you can drink 20 beers. No Adam Powell, the footballer, just Adam Powell. Right, you can kind of just create your own new identity and persona, which is probably the best thing that could have happened.
It's insane, hey?
Man, it's so good. Because all those things that you did when you were in year 7, but now you still hang around with everyone who knew you in year 7, right? You've got just history there, which you're not that same person when you were at 10 to now you're 20. So being able to start again, I still had the chip on my shoulder and the ego, because in England, if you're a footballer, you've got a bit of clout about you. You're the man. Over here, no one gives a single shit about League 2 in England.
They don't care.
Nah, no way. Which is good. It's like at the time I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. But then you start to build other parts of your life. Okay, now I'm Adam Powell, who's the decent football coach, or actually now Adam Powell who's in sales. Now I'm Adam Powell who's a really good friend to people. Adam Powell who's a good partner. All these different bits where you didn't need to have those before because I was the footballer and that was so strong in terms of my identity. Everything else is a byproduct.
It's a little bit like what Rancy said to us, isn't it? Like on his journey to becoming an AFL Premier, like everything's just so focused around football. You're building that tower and you forget to actually build a tower that's full of all the things that are most important to you. And like I say to a lot of people, if I had the chance of doing what we do now with the kids, the family where we live, our friend group, or be a League One or League Two footballer for my entire life, I'd pick this every single day of the week.
100%.
Yeah. Give me a quick fire on the jobs.
Nice.
So from landing in Australia, I want to know the jobs to when you got into recruitment. What was job number one?
Job number one, I couldn't believe my luck. I'm working for a sports marketing company.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is it, Mum. I've made it. How good Australia's going to be awesome.
What were you getting paid?
Well, nothing. I walk in there. It's fucking nothing to do with sports or marketing. There's door knocking, selling gift books for charity. But like the guys were walking in suits to the office and I'm going, here we go, Wolf of Wall Street. There's people getting pies in the face. This is class. And then they go, all right, time to get changed. People take their suit off, chuck a polo on, some shorts and some runners, and you just get on a car and drive out. I think it was Tweed. Yeah, you get a map. Here are the 300 houses you've got a door knock today. And it's fucking 35 degrees. So it's commission only. So you only make money on what you sell. First day I made no money. Second day I made no money. I'm going, this is not for me.
What? Why did they wear suits to the office?
Just for the prestige of it. You know what I mean? We're not door knockers. We're doing marketing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So 2 days.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Famous the
Mr.
word.
Brazilian over it.
Oh, dude. From there,
Job two.
nice little arc here actually. So I'm on Broadbeach balcony when I was playing football. Heard a couple of Worcester. I heard a Worcester accent.
Yes.
And I'm going, oh, what the fuck? So I went, hey boys, how are you? Mr. Jack Corbett, friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
And Tucky as well. So they ran a sales and recruitment business. They got me in, sorted me out for free, which was awesome because it was $1,000. Didn't have $1,000.
Nah.
Kind of gave me the short version, got me a job, bang. I was working at Global Work and Travel Co, selling kind of holiday packages for Aussies to go to Canada or England. I haven't been to Canada. And England was talking about London. I've been to London twice. So I'm just fucking bullshitting. I had no idea. Did that for a period of time and I was just like, this is not why I moved over here.
What sort of sales was that though? Was that the shopping centre sales?
No, this is on the phone.
Oh, like telesales?
Yeah. So leads comes in, bang, hey, you've applied, whatever. Yeah. After that, football coaching, went for Magic United, which is good. Yeah. Cruisy, hours were okay, money was okay. Literally just ticking over. Moved to Sydney, worked in a bar, where I met a couple of good lads and we had a great crack for 6 months.
Didn't you do a mixology course?
Nah.
I thought you did at one point.
We kind of learned it, but not the course. And then moved to Melbourne, worked in bars again, then moved back to the Gold Coast. Then I got a job in timeshare. So selling timeshare kind of packages. So I'd be sat, how they got into the room, they get a scratch card in Pack Fair, they scratch that and they come and have an appointment with me. Husband and wife, they have to meet this set criteria. So always a couple earning a set amount of money. I'd have 90 minutes to take them from super cold to giving us like 15, 20, 25 grand to join a timeshare club. So what I've quickly learned is how the quicker you can break them down at the start, the better you'll be. Yeah. So I used to walk out, those Hawaiian like lays, the flowers around your neck.
I knew you were going to say this.
So dude, I'd have one, I'd have two in my hand. I'm like, Mr. and Mrs. Parker, my name's Adam. I'd put one on the woman. She will be loving it, going, yeah. Put one on this guy who's sat, arms folded, shrugged up. Now he's got this flower around his neck. Just broke him. And I was really, really good at the start because I was just so curious and just ball of energy. Just gave a shit. But then what happens after a period of time when you know the product so well, you stop asking. You just start assuming. So you do 5 holidays a year, so you're going to love this. Yeah. As opposed to you do 5 holidays a year, like what would be better? Like what if you did something like that? Massive difference. So then I kind of went to shit in the office and they kind of liked me. And they said, why don't you go and do the front end? Do the scratch card stuff in the shopping centres. Fuck it. I'll give it a go. Why not? Brutal. Really? So brutal. Yeah.
I even ignore those people now.
100%, mate.
And I feel bad because I'm like, I respect the hustle because we cold call people every day. And when we cold call people, we're like, no, I've got value for you. Just give me 5 minutes.
Yeah. But I think we actually do. Like this didn't. Like this, It's not good.
Didn't you like always know which card was the winner?
Yeah, so the little trick they had a pile of scratch cards. You have two piles, identical, except one's in caps, one's in lowercase. The one's in caps is the winner. So the game was, you'd start the husband and wife, you give one each. You give the husband the loser and the wife the winner, because the thinking was naturally the wife will get more excited about winning, and you drive that emotion to kind of book the meeting. And they did genuinely get a free holiday if they sat the meeting. Like, it was legit, but they had to go and take time out of their holiday to sit down, go to Surfers, have a 90-minute presentation.
Get a fucking Hawaiian thing
Get a Hawaiian lay on. So anyway, that come to an end. Worked in another bar, worked in a cafe, and then had a period of time over Christmas, it was, where I just needed some work. Saw this job on Gumtree or something, and it was literally selling Christmas toys in the middle of like shopping centres.
Nice. Any good?
No.
You loved a shopping centre?
Yeah.
Is that the one where you used to turn up 2 hours late and leave 2 hours early to a 4-hour shift or something?
That was the scratch card one, yeah.
Oh, the scratch card.
Fucking hell. So yeah, then selling Christmas toys, and then finally had to be with Mads for a couple of years, but I then got the partner visa, right, which is kind of the golden ticket to get a proper job. Before that, you can only work for 6 months. The companies just don't want to invest in you, which is fair enough. So I got the proper job. Incredible. Applied to 1,000 jobs on Seek. Hayes called back. My CV was minging, like it was all over the place. But luckily, they kind of saw through that. Had an interview on the phone, then went up for an individual interview, got my suit on, briefcase, got on the train to Brizzy. Had a group interview where it was kind of like role plays in the room. Luckily, I'd already done a fair bit of sales, so I was pretty confident compared to people that I just finished uni and just hadn't any life experience, right? Like I'd already moved to the other side of the world. These people are just finishing an engineering degree and don't know what they want to do.
Live with mum and dad all their life, yeah.
It's not apples for apples. Smashed that, and then kind of the rest was history.
Fuck. What did you learn from that period of time? The different jobs and the attitude that just to get through?
I bought into absolutely everything.
Yeah, I love
that. Making cafe. In the cafe, we would do the fastest open, the fastest close. Right? We everything was just as schmick as it could. In the bars, like we'd just be on fire. Like the sales, obsessed with the training. Like I just loved it, and just had a great time doing all of it. And you don't realize what you're learning at the time, but there's so much different situations and contexts that I've been in now, where when you're speaking to anyone, you can just relate. Right.
It's what you make of it. Can you share what you said to me before we came in here about the 2 different cocktail making jobs you had?
Yeah, this is good.
And the only difference was your attitude, right?
First job in Sydney, I was working with a couple of good lads, and there was a bit of competitiveness in the bar, and it was a 5-star bar. We'd have like little bow ties on, looking over the harbour bridge. Really cool spot. And it was kind of like, there was number 1, number 2, number 3 on the bar, depending how busy it was. So the better you were, the more chance you were 1 or 2. If it was quiet, you'd be on the floor, which you don't want to be doing.
Yeah.
So, and how you got good was obviously learning the cocktails off by heart, your speed, your cleanliness. So we just obsessed over it. Like we knew every cocktail back to front. We were on fire, right? And it was a well-oiled machine because I gave a shit and had a bit of competitiveness. And then the bar job on the Goldie, it was literally a bit of a stopgap. And I kind of knew it was. So I was there for, say, 3 or 4 months. Probably the similar kind of time I was at the other bar, but I just wasn't invested at all. So by the end of the 4 months, I still couldn't tell you how to make one of their house cocktails, right? Because I'll just go there, clock in, I can read the sheet, make the drink, off to the next. Just didn't give a shit, which is, again, a really good story about how you have the same amount of time spent with the same job, but where your own head's at determines actually the level of productivity you get out of it.
Yeah, when you're unfulfilled or unhappy in life, there's 2 things you can change. Change the environment and go and find one that's different and better for you, or change your mindset. And all you did, you just had a very different mindset. And I wonder how many people are listening to this and they think they hate their job or hate their situation. But actually, if they took ownership and looked at themselves, maybe it's the application. Michael Koloshi, he loves it. Are you committed or are you interested?
Yeah.
Interested is kind of that dip the toe in mindset. And yeah, I'm okay. I'm just cruising along. Or it's, I'm committed. Like I'm obsessing over this. I'm burning the boats and this is me, because the situation doesn't change. But the difference between the person being committed or interested in his world is the difference of someone coming into the industry in 6 months earning 40K on a shit salary and leaving, or someone coming into that industry and within 3 years they're earning 500 grand a year.
Is it a job? Is it your career? Or is it your craft?
Yeah.
Until you can say it's your craft, you're never going to win.
Not enough people understand that, how just the difference in application and mindset in such a short period of time, you can change your life drastically. Like, I want to talk about when you went into the recruitment world and you were with Hayes, but I want you to start by telling people what your salary was in year one and what you earned in that first year compared to year three, and how old you were in that transition.
I would have been, I'm 30 now, had this 3 years, 5 years, so I've been 22. Is that right?
Fuck, I thought you'd have done some prep, mate.
Yeah. Let's say 23.
Yeah.
Base salary 45k, which I'm going, how fucking good is that? Like, I've been working in bars and ticking over. 45k base. So even for doing nothing, I get paid that. Wow, how good. And then commission on top. So first year, I think I did 70k with comms on top. Awesome.
Buzzing.
Happy days. Second year, I did 110. Third year was 170. And then the fourth year, which is my last full year, I did 220. And the fifth year, we left and started Harwell.
Yeah. Environment didn't change.
Nothing changed.
From year one. But just by being committed, not interested on year one, where even on that 45,000 salary, you had the optimistic mindset of this is the best thing in the world. You went 70k to 110 to 170 to 220. I don't think there's many careers in the world other than sales where that's possible in most disciplines, where you can go in and within the difference of 3 or 4 years, more than triple your salary.
I was 26, no degree, moved here, 6 years before, and 220 grand a year living on the Gold Coast. Never picked up a hammer in my life, but now I'm recruiting in construction and billing, 700 grand a year.
Yeah. When you connect the dots backwards, and we've spoken about your upbringing, the work ethic and things like that, was it easy for you to do that, or was there still times where you had to push through self-doubt or go the extra mile?
Not easy, but no other option. Like, if I don't make money, I'm not paying my rent. Like, I haven't got the bank of mum and dad to fall back on, right? Like, they're trying to look after themselves, and I'm luckily now I get to help a little bit too. Like, it's freeing when you can only rely on yourself. And then if I'd have gone, oh yeah, I won't make any money, but I'll ask my mum for a bit, and she said, I've got none. Oh, mum, you've killed me. No.
You killed yourself.
It's on me. It's all on me. Were there times where you doubt yourself? Yes. Like, there was donuts and there's months where it wasn't great, but
a donut in recruitment is where you do a zero.
Yeah. I was quite fortunate though, to be honest, because when I joined, there was the newbies, there was a big gap of middle management, and then there was the seniors at the top. I'd started well, and then slowly but surely all those middle managers just started dropping off. They get pregnant, or they go and start their own company or go to another agency. So then I was kind of the best of the newbies. I just got all these opportunities to manage a team, take on more, and got pushed through. So I was 3 years experience. I was probably operating like I had 5 or 6 because of the opportunities I've been given, which was awesome.
But you say that's fortunate because the people did drop off. But when you decided to go in and be the best newbie, you didn't know none of that. You didn't know any of that was happening. You didn't know the managers were leaving. You didn't know Old Love was going to have a baby. Old Love was going to start a company. That came because you were the best of the newbies, and you did that off no other promise or motivation than being the best of the newbies.
You make your own luck.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah. I love it. Mate, I don't want to talk too much about them.
Pat you on the shoulder.
Yeah. The transition to Harwell, and this is kind of our final segment of the Adam Powell story. How did it happen, and what were the early days like?
We'd always spoke about it.
Yeah.
5 years' time and 10 years, because we thought we needed 10 years' experience to go and do it. Well, we'll start our own company. It's going to be so good. But it was a million miles away. And then ended up on the piss on New Year's Eve, I think it was, with a couple of lads, English fellas, who'd started one in Brizzy. Worked for a big corporate as we had, started their own company, chatting to them, talking about billings, and like, mate, you boys will be so sweet. Fuck, maybe we will. Bit of Dutch courage, bit of confidence. Halves were doing it. And that kind of set the wheels in motion. Not to say we'll do it tomorrow, but let's just start thinking about it. And then as the world would have it, our good friend Declan Kluver reaches out on LinkedIn to Halves. Hey, we're starting ex-recruiter. This is what we're doing. And I was pretty pig-headed. I was going, nah, mate, fuck that. We'll do it ourselves. Because the other two lads had. We'll do it ourselves.
Full independence.
Full independence, right. And what was a year away then turned to be 9 months. And then talking further with Deck and Blake at the time, okay, maybe it's 6 months. And then I remember we're working through it and we're going, boys, we want to start this in 3 months. Let's get going. And that was it. The shackles were off. It was hard then to stay motivated at the old company, because I'm going, well, the money I'm making for you, I could be actually having it myself in 3 months' time.
Yeah.
So it's a weird period of time, but you can't then just drop the ball with your clients and candidates, because then you're coming from a negative, so it was an interesting one.
Didn't you do a cashy on your way out the door?
No. Allegedly, which was the biggest fucking stitch up.
That was so good. Mindset around that time. I want to know, were you scared? But then I also want you to unpack that that thing you just touched on there of, fuck, you lose motivation because now you can see the thing of doing it for yourself, but the discipline to kind of step back and go, well, if I want to do it for myself, I've actually got to go above and beyond rather than just coast home.
The old Jack Grealish special was pressure is a privilege.
Yeah.
You know, I think you can make you crumble or you can step up to it. And I think knowing we could only look at ourselves was so freeing. Like the energy we had in the early days, and we still do now, but it's spread across different areas. The energy to just recruit really fucking well and just be the best just gave us so much forward momentum that no one could compete with it because we were just moving so quick and we were just everywhere. Mindset, was I scared? Yes, like sensibly, but not over the top. Like, was I considerate about the money we've got and what we need to do? For sure. Did I believe that we do it? 100%. Probably a little bit easier for me than you at the time because I've been in recruitment a few more years and done big numbers. But yeah, I just thought like there's no way we can't win. Recruitment's such a 1 in, 2 out type game. But if you do the work and you do an unreasonable amount of volume, that it's fuck, I fucked it again. You know what I'm trying to say? The whole Mugsy one. Can I go again?
Yeah, you go on.
Do so much activity that it's unreasonable to not get the outcome you desire.
Yeah.
I've kind of twang it a bit, but that's basically what it is.
I love it. It's interesting to know that you had some moments where you were scared because my mindset at the time, because I was only 2 years into recruitment, but I was only like 12 months into the space I was recruiting. So I had 1 year twice rather than 2 years once. And I remember I was thinking, I was like, well, I know ads will bill. So I was like, we will be all right. Like I might chuck in one here or there, but it get us through. So if I'd have known you were scared at times, I'd have gone, oh boy.
Yeah, but again, you need that, man. Like until you burn the boats and go all in, I was comfortable. Like I was cruising. Yeah. I was on 220 grand a year. I had a full-time resource that they paid for. Like shit, life was easy, man. I was cruising around. I got left alone, but I'd still be on 220 right now if I was there. You know, like I'd still be doing the same shit. I wouldn't have had the growth that we've had. I wouldn't have the energy and the passion. I wouldn't be fucking sat on a podcast. Wouldn't be wearing my own Harwell branded merch around. Wouldn't be, you know, working with our best mates and sponsoring people. Wouldn't be having the impact we are. So if it wasn't for you, I probably would still just be cruising along because I wouldn't have had the urgency to make a change.
Yeah. 99 people out of 100 would still be in that job.
But 99 people out of 100 have probably come from a good, solid home, stayed at home, gone to school, gone to uni, hanging out with the same people. Just a life of comfort, you know?
That's another question I wanted to ask. Where you say pressure is a privilege, do you think some people are like biologically like just better at handling pressure, or do you just think it's the environment that's been created around them?
I think both. And we speak about this a fair bit, right? Like as a parent, how do you prepare your kids for the real world? Because you want to give them everything. You want to make life so easy for them because that's naturally what you're inclined to do. But if you do that, you're going to create monsters who have no resilience. Like my childhood was fine, but luckily I've got so much independence and ability to withhold pressure and stress, one from my kind of mum and dad type setup and then from football, you know, but it's UVU at the end of the day. You've got kids wanting to take your spot. So I've naturally just built up that tolerance for pressure and stress. Whereas if you haven't played team sport, if you had a lovely mum and dad who were so in love and life was great and, you know, you could go home and eat dinner with your mum, fucking basic it sounds, you haven't got that. Like, as soon as you get 1 cent of hard work, the fucking red signals are going off. What the hell is this? This is so foreign. Where it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because it's got us to where we are today. Yeah. The curse is when does it stop? At what point do I go, mate, you're not in danger anymore. You're not in survival mode. All right, you've got your beautiful wife. You've got a couple of houses on the Gold Coast. You've got your dog who you love to bits. You've got a business with your best friend. You've got everything. But at what point does the fuel change from being that desperation, survival into fulfillment, you know, and impact?
Yeah, I read something the other day. It was about, there was a tribe somewhere in the world, and this is up until recently, they would consistently live to over 100 years old. And they were studying this tribe. Why did they just consistently live so long? Was it their diet? Was it exercise? It was that they had no stress.
Wow.
They lived in an environment and a life on this island where it was just their tribe. They didn't work because they caught and killed their own food. And because they had no stress, they think that was the sole driver of why they lived so long.
What I'd want to ask, are they fulfilled?
Mm.
I think they would
I'd
be
say yes.
in that situation.
Because they know no different.
100%. And they're community, right? They're in their tribe of people. Everyone's got their job to protect the tribe and to make it work. In the real world, I think we look at rich kids. Kids get handed $1 million in their bank account, their first jobs from their dad's business partner. They never work for anything. They have everything materialistically and everything externally, but inside they know they don't deserve it. So they can't be happy. Whereas one thing I'm so fucking proud of for us is every single thing we see around us, it's ours. Be given no money. We've had people help along the way, as you would.
But that's been reciprocal.
For sure. Yeah.
Whether that's been us passing on that help to other people or those people have helped us because we've done something for them or we've gone and executed on that help.
I'm a worthy of help. I think we say a lot as well. If you help us out, we'll action what you say. We'll give you feedback on how that's gone. We'll ask you another question of how we can implement that again. You know, people don't just give us their time and we go, thanks, fucking see you never. You kind of give it that back as well.
Yeah. The business journey, what's the biggest change in Adam Powell along the nearly 3 years of Harwell so far?
There's been so much, man. Like I think I'm actually unrecognisable from like 4 years ago. I think my attitude to learning, I think it's a big one. Yeah. And what that's done for me, what the impact of that is. I think now I never used to read books. I never used to listen to podcasts. It was just football or fucking beers or do a bit of recruitment. But now I'm so obsessed with learning. I fucking love it. Mm-hmm. And then that doesn't just stop there. Then what you write, what you learn, then changes the way you are. So I'm a lot more deep thinking these days. I'm a lot more ambitious because I know what's possible now because I've learned what other people are doing. I think I'm a lot more stable and consistent for people around me too. The no drinking is probably helping. Yeah. I'm a better friend, I'm a better partner. I'm obviously now a business partner and a better one than I would have been if I hadn't made the changes. Yeah. I think I'm a lot more, this is one that I've been told, it actually is probably one of the most nicest compliments you can give. I think I make people feel safe. That's really good. Because they just know what they're going to get. Yeah. You know, they're not, well, what mood's he in today or is he going to be happy or sad? I'm just, if I say hundreds over the top elation, 0 is fucking going to kill yourself, I'm always about a 60, I think. I'm always just pretty happy, pretty sweet. Yeah. That's one thing Britt said about you. Like, she's had lots of friends, as we've gone through this parenthood journey, lots of friends who have, they say one thing, like they want to be really involved and help and be there for her, but then they do another. And she's like, the one thing with Powell, you know exactly where you stand at all times. You know that if shit hit the fan and we needed someone to look after the kids for 2 hours, we could call you and you'd do it. And you just you'd make it work. But then you're also very honest to go, mate, I like coming and seeing your kids for half an hour. And that's about that, because I'm not at a stage where I want to be a parent or have those instincts. And as people in our situation, there is nothing better than that. Because you just know exactly where you stand and you know what your relationship is, but you also know when you needed, you'd have the back. There is nothing more frustrating. And that's probably why people say they make you make them feel safe. There's nothing worse than the erratic person that says this, then flips, then changes, then does this, then that. Because you're like, I don't know whether I'm coming for a shit or a haircut. Yeah. Which is dangerous to be. I love that. It's so nice. And look, do I wish I was more inclined to fucking, be all over your kids? Maybe. But I'd rather not fucking lie, at the same time. And maybe I'll get there. I think the older they get, the more I'll probably be able to connect more, But I've never been around kids, right? I was the younger sibling, even more my cousins, which we didn't really see many of them. I was the youngest. I've never been around babies, so it just doesn't click for me, I was never like that until I had kids. Yeah. I didn't want kids. I didn't want kids for a long time. Me and Andy used to love kids at that older age. Me and Andy used to run a kids camp in England. They were at the ages between 6 and 12. So they're at that age where you just have fun and play games. But they weren't my kids and it was a job. Yeah. Like, I wasn't obsessed with hanging out with my younger cousins or anything like that. So it's something that when you have your own kids, you got no choice. But again, like being the best, right? Like if I had a kid, I would read the books, do the podcasts, fucking do the classes to be the best dad I could. Yeah. If I was in that situation. I think there's a lot that people can learn from this, of that the road isn't straight. It's not all flat. It's uphill, downhill, windy. There's challenges. It's about your mindset. I think the one core thing throughout that has been your mindset and just your attitude to just making it work, finding a way, and just keep pushing forward. Like, that's the one thing that I think has got you to where you are now. And it's hard because it's not like some revelation, right? Like it's just what I do. And I was actually listening to a Chris Williamson podcast this morning in the gym. Fucking hit a chord, right? the curse of high performers is that success is an obligation, not a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Right? So like us having a good business, that's what we're supposed to do. Us making money, yeah, that's what we're fucking meant to do, mate. Like I don't have that feeling of elation sometimes, you know? I'm like, yeah, obviously we're going to win. I always win because that's the way my brain's wired, which is great. As I said, it's so cool because then the standards you get drive you and get the outcomes you want to achieve. But at some point,
it wears off. Yeah, I feel you. There's some of the things we've achieved. People from the outside go, "Wow, you've made it." It was always going to happen. Like that's just there was another option.
But it's easy to say that now it's happened. Yeah, of course we have. But at the time, we weren't that certain.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, why can't I remember how uncertain I was? Now I've got the certainty and be so grateful for it.
Yeah. And even now, at the level of certainty, there's also the level of like, oh, fuck, this could still come crashing down.
100%.
It's that winning mindset that one of the coaches at the gym I go to, she messaged me the other day because they're doing a competition. And she's like, I want you on my team. And I was like, oh, what are the details? Send it through. Blah, blah. I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll do it. And she just goes, come on, let's go. And I literally just replied, I was like, I never fucking lose. Even this competition, 3 hours ago, I didn't know what it was. And within 3 hours, I've looked on that. She goes, go on the Instagram. It says about the events. And I've looked at it and gone, yeah, we're good.
But the magic here, right, people listening, we might not win. You might not win that competition.
I'll tell you if I do, and I'll tell you if I don't.
But where the bar is set for you now, it's to expect to win it. So if you come second, we'll take it. Right? Yeah. Like it's just that's the default. Not like, oh yeah, it could be cool, it might be all right. Like the default is we'll fucking win.
Yeah, I love it. Mate, before we finish, there was a question that you asked Jack Corbett on when he came on this podcast that he said was one of the best questions he'd ever been asked. And I want to ask you.
Okay.
What would 15-year-old Adam Powell be most proud of today?
That's a good question, Adam. I think who I was at 15, right? Dad's just necked himself.
Fucking hell.
Getting into football, I think he'd be most proud of sticking to his gut. Like one thing I'm so good at doing is looking at when I'm making a decision, what does my gut say? And then am I prepared for the consequences if I get it wrong? And I've always just kind of lent on that. And it's got us to where we are today. I think it's just the conviction to keep doing that, even when, there's so much noise around and things you should do or could do. Okay, what does your gut say? And then being so happy to lose and learn and go on to the next.
Because it's back to ownership.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's also that decision-making framework. Everyone says motivation's easy, consistency is the hard part. But that's just being your consistent framework throughout everything. And then having ownership of the result, whether it's good or bad.
What's yours?
No, I'm interviewing you, mate. I would say the self-awareness and emotional intelligence to recognize when things are wrong and that I'm not being the best version of myself, and probably having the stubbornness to make a change and accept that you're going to lose a few people or life's going to change to make that change, because I know that it's going to make a better experience and a better life for me and the people around me through that. Like, and just sticking true to those core values. Like whenever I've not been right in myself, whether it's through mental health, things like that, it's because I get away from my core values. But I've always had the self-awareness to recognize that and make the big change and go, yeah, I don't care. People are going to say, why aren't you drinking, you dickhead? Well, I'm not drinking because I can't deal with the head noise that you don't have to experience. Just always staying true to that. And that's happened in so many different areas of my life, where it's just having a better relationship with myself, whether it's having a better relationship with you as a friend and in business, whether it's being a better partner to Brit, a better dad to the girls. Like it's just always that self-awareness to make that change, which I think in sales and in business is one of the best skills you can have.
It seems like a period of life, right? Late 20s, early 30s. I think you really grow out of your old self, but then have you got the courage to make the change is the big one. And if you're flipping this now into more of a business minded, right? That could be, yes, you went to uni. Yes, you went and got a degree in fucking engineering. You've been an engineer for 5 years, but if it doesn't light you up, if it's not burning you to go to work and be the best engineer in the world, you've got 40 years left or 30 years left of this career. Have you got the courage to make a change?
Mate, honestly, that is spot on. Like, don't just live a mediocre life because that's what you think other people expect of you, or you've had one identity for so long. I think the average millionaire Well, the average age of when people become a millionaire for the first time is 50.
Mental.
Like 50 years old. Most people are trying to think about retirement then. That's when most millionaires in the world are just getting fucking started.
But again, you don't need to retire from a life you love. If you love what you do and you've got the business set up or your job set up where you just do the stuff that's in that high value, high energy tasks, you don't want to retire from that.
Yeah, too many people are just working towards the end. Like they're living a mediocre life of unhappiness where they're working towards this retirement. Well, have a look around you, mate. Not most people, but a lot of people get cancer or have fucking heart attacks or strokes before they retire. So you're living that life of unhappiness just to get to the end, but you might not even fucking make it there. Like now is the time.
100%.
Mate, I've enjoyed that. Thank you for being so open and honest. I think a lot of people might be surprised about some of that, and hopefully they learn a lot.
Thanks, mate.
See you next time.
Hey guys, it's Jake and Lockie from Naturally Cooked Sunscreen, and we are pumped to be sponsoring the Two Blokes, One Business podcast.
We're on a mission to foster a generation of Australians who take sun safety more seriously and encourage it amongst their mates. You can find us at naturallycook.com.au or follow us at Naturally Cooked Sunscreen.